Hey guys, today we're going to be doing some air intake testing. Welcome back to the channel. You're on EssMotorsports. Today I got a good one for you. I've been waiting to do this test as I have a different air cleaner for my Rotofab intake. This is the cotton one. I currently have the paper one. And then we also have the Velossa Tech Big Mouth Ram Air for the 2016 to 18 cars. And we're gonna be testing out, does this actually work? And is this better than my dry filter? We'll find out. So I want to give you a little basis of why I want to do this test. When I'm doing pulls in the upper RPM, you can see my map KPA drop off through the data logs. It starts at roughly 3,000 RPMs, and then as we climb to say, 6,000, 6,500, the map KPA drops from, let's just say 100 down to 96 or 97. So it's not getting full atmospheric pressure in the intake manifold. So usually what that means is you have an intake restriction. So this is just a test I wanted to run to see if part of my restriction is just the filter itself, and if this doesn't solve it, which I'm guessing it won't, but to see if the VelossaTech Big Mouth actually kind of helps and almost, I know it's not gonna pressurize the air intake, but if that can kind of make up and help out a little bit to make sure we're feeding all the air we can to the filter so the engine can draw it in. So I have the LT2 intake. If you don't know, if you haven't followed my channel, there's definitely videos out there for that. So check up here for the LT2 video. And I have the Rotofab intake. I also have the 95mm throttle body with the adapter. So really, I don't believe this is my restriction, the throttle body. This should technically flow enough. Honestly, I think my main issue is probably this intake, as this is, a 4-inch intake. And I mean, you think about it, the engine is just an air pump. What is it doing? It's sucking basically through a straw. So as that straw gets longer, it's gonna be harder to pull that air in. So, I'm curious to run this test to see if the filter can help, to see if the Big Mouth can help to help alleviate some of that, or if I need to maybe go to a different intake setup to make sure I'm getting the maximum air to the engine. So this is just a test to see if that can help out at all, if I do have a restriction here, or maybe if I can almost band-aid a little bit with the Big Mouth to help out. But this could be my issue. So we might not see anything from these two parts, but it's worth a shot, and I figured other people would want to know as well. So let's get to it. So how I'm gonna run this test is I'm gonna take the car out, gonna do a pull with the current setup, and I'm gonna run it one gear. I'm gonna start at 2,000 RPM and go all the way to above 6. And that way, from my data log, I'll be able to see how much the map KPA drops off. I will also be able to see the frequency of the MAF sensor to see if that changes any as well, if that increases because of more airflow with the Big Mouth or the different filter. So the first step is just to swap this filter, as I already did a pull with the current setup earlier today as I was driving, as it's actually nice out today. So I did a pull and I have a data log for that. So first we'll swap this filter with the new cotton gauze Rotofab filter. Now that we got the filter installed, we're gonna go out for another run, data log, and see what our map KPA is, if it's changed at all with the new filter. So like I said, we're gonna do from like 2,000 to 6,000 RPM. Let's go. Just that alone, that'll give me the data that I need to see if the map KPA has changed at all. So we are back already from doing a pull, and I didn't even look at the log as I don't want to ruin it for myself. And now we're going to get to installing the VelossaTech Big Mouth and in front of behind the grill, I should say. And I'm going to do it through this, and I'm not going to bore you with this install as there's other videos. This isn't really an install video, so I'm going to just knock this out, get it installed, and show you. Alright, so I got the VelossaTech Big Mouth installed and buttoned up. Show you what it looks like. Maybe you can see. Tried to adjust it so I got it nice and a good height. So it blends right in. So hopefully that feeds a little bit more cold air to this filter. So now we're gonna make another run and see what it does. Our final pull with the VelossaTech Big Mouth. So we'll go back to the garage, take a look at the data log, and see if it did anything. See if it helped out the map KPA, or take a look at the map frequency as well. See if that increased a little bit with the VelossaTech. For now, let's just go for a little cruise, huh? Maybe hear some of the sounds. Just boy, that sounded good. Popcorn. It's a lot of popcorn. Alright guys, we'll see you back at the garage. Alright guys, so I got a log pulled up, which is for the first run that I did of the day. And basically what I'm going to look at is, call it from 5,800 to just over 6,000 RPM. And I'm going to be looking at my map KPA as well as the mass airflow sensor frequency to see if there's any change. So what I was kind of basing this off of is, if we start at the beginning of the run, you can see that, you know, map KPA is basically 98, or barometric pressure that the sensor in the air intake is measuring was 97.5. So this is basically what atmospheric is for this particular time of the day at the start of the run. And again, caveat to this is I did all three of these runs in one day in a matter of, it was like 5 hours. So it can, the barometric pressure can change within that, which it probably was, but this is kind of more of a general idea, general test to see if what was going on.
Also, don't mind this area of dip in my spark timing, as I have something going on here. I'm pretty sure I know what it is. I made a bunch of changes over the winter, and it's doing some torque management here at the upper RPM, which I gotta adjust. If you have any suggestions, let me know in the comments, but I think I should be able to easily get rid of that. So now if we go to 5800, we can see map KPA was getting down to 95, so a couple left, a couple less than 97.5. As we're going through, as we get up to 6,000, you can see we're getting into the 94. If we're looking at the frequency as well, it's kind of bouncing around, you know, the 84, 85, 86 we were seeing on this initial run. Spoiler, I did take a peek at the other ones. So that's kind of the baseline. That was with the dry filter. So now if we open up the next log, again, we'll go to the run. Again, we start, you know, the barometric pressure. Let's see, we can double check it. But basically at the start of the run, we're seeing same like 98, 98. So pretty close to the same. So now if we go to the 5800 again, we are seeing 94 again, maybe slightly lower. Frequency is around 84, 85. It's bouncing, you know, almost 80, almost 86. I mean, we're talking pretty much the same. So, I mean, really what this is telling me is that the cotton filter is really not any better, which I think we've seen from other, you know, tests of the Rotofab itself. And then we're going to the next log, which is, so this was still the cotton filter with the VelossaTech Big Mouth added. So here we got start of the run again, 88 map KPA. Same, you know, it's basically the same atmospheric pressure going on. So now we go up to the run, start at 58, and we're looking at, we're down to 95, 94. You know, it's pretty much the same. What do we got here for frequency? We're bouncing around that 84, 85. This, you know, getting close to the 86 here. I mean, it's pretty close, you know. We got down to 84 something here, bounced, I think, back up. Yeah, kind of bounced back up to 85. So, I mean, not much of a change that we can see from the map KPA and the frequency data coming from the sensor. But, you know, maybe slight improvement. Pretty much what I'm seeing here is it doesn't really drastically affect the frequency rating of airflow coming in the engine, as well as the map KPA. They are pretty much the same. Not to say that it wasn't helping with the air temperature, air intake temp with the VelossaTech intake. I mean, it is kind of looking through the rest of the run. I mean, it's very close in terms of the air intake. It holds right at 81 degrees the whole time. Granted, the other ones kind of did as well. You could see when I first started up the vehicle, it was definitely higher, but once I got moving just a tiny bit, even without the VelossaTech, it jumped down. But I still think it's probably a worthwhile add. Is it absolutely necessary? Not sure, but yeah. All right, well, let me switch views here and we'll do a wrap up.
All right, guys, so to recap the results, basically what I found out is the type of filter, either the cotton filter or the dry filter, it didn't really change the map KPA or the hertz frequency. They basically flow about the same as kind of what I saw. And then with the cotton filter in combination with the VelossaTech intake, obviously I got a black one, so it's kind of hard to see, but it's behind there. And obviously that pushes air into the air box. That didn't really change it much either. Obviously, I wasn't going like major, super over 100 high speed. Maybe on the track, you'd get a little different results, but all in all, it wasn't as quite as what I was hoping it was gonna do. But is it worth something? Probably. It's probably gonna help keep the get nice cool air into the air intake. So there's definitely an advantage there. But if you're on the fence about it, take it for what it's worth. But overall, kind of a fun test. I thought it would be fun information to share because I was wondering about this as well myself to see how drastic of a change it would be. Let me know what you guys think in the videos. If you still think it's the VelossaTech is a worthwhile upgrade, as well as which filter you guys run, and if you guys have seen any differences. Just remember, if you guys want to pick up EssMotorsports t-shirt, this is an old one, but the new ones, you can click on the link to see what they look like. If you guys still want one, check out the link and then hit me up on Instagram, and I'll get one shipped out to you. So, all right, guys, till next time, see ya.